Hello guys and welcome back. Today I'm going to break down the amount of skill points acquired in each Borderlands game and which system I think is the best and should be implemented in the next generation of games. So with that, let's get right into it. Okay, so Borderlands 1. Let's break down the math. You start to receive skill points after you reach level 5, and in vanilla Borderlands, the maximum number of skill points is 54. Without any of the DLC. But most players at this point have either bought the DLC or owned the Game of the Year or Season Pass or something. So we'll put that into consideration. So Mad Moxxi's Underdome added 2 skill points, 1 for each playthrough. The Secret Army of General Knox also increased the level cap by 11, which added 11 additional skill points. Claptrap's DLC also added 2 skill points, which breaks down into 1 from each playthrough. So if we do that math, 54 plus 2 plus 11 plus 2 is 69 available skill points at endgame with all the different DLC. So all the characters have 21 skills along with their main action skill, which allows the players to easily reach the capstone of each tree and max out 13 skills and then have 4 points in another. Obviously, capstones and skills were not as game-changing as they are in future games, but it still gives the player a lot of power, and the player can still fill out over 60% of their skill tree. Now we'll go to Borderlands 2. This game does not have any skill point rewarded missions, so the player caps out at 68 skill points, assuming they have all the DLC and level increases. Players also, same as Borderlands 1, start to receive skill points at level 5, and if they have all the DLC, they reach level 72. The players in the game can reach the capstone for 2 of the skill trees and a mid-tier on the 3rd, as long as they're only using their skill points to reach the bottom of each tree and then move on. Now, percents are a little different. In Borderlands 1, each character could fill out 65% of their skill tree. In Borderlands 2, Zero and Maya could fill out 53.5, Gage could fill out 53.1, Axton could fill out 52.7, Salvador could fill out 50.7, and Krieg could fill out 48.6. So obviously, there's one less skill point available than in Borderlands 1, but there are a lot more different variety in the skill trees, and they do help the player a lot more than just accuracy or damage or critical hit damage bonuses, which is mostly what we saw in Borderlands 1. And also in Borderlands 2, it allowed for a lot more build diversity, and people could kind of choose and build a lot of different ways. So I don't think it was necessarily awful that they did that, but there's that. So then we will keep going. Lastly was the pre-sequel. You receive your first skill point at level 3. The level cap is also different from the other 2 games. Borderlands 1, was maxed out at 69, and Borderlands 2 was 72. While the pre-sequel was 70. But in the pre-sequel, the player only needed 21 points to reach the capstone of each tree, while in Borderlands 2, it was around 25-ish. So in theory, the player could reach the capstone of each tree in Borderlands the pre-sequel as long as they owned all the DLC and level increases. Obviously, some players liked this but in the pre-sequel, because this, along with other balance changes, allowed the player to feel more overpowered and almost had players feeling like it went back to the original Borderlands roots in terms of balance. And it was also a feeling of overpoweredness with unique skills and not just generic stat boosts, like it is in Borderlands 1. But then we'll break down. So in the pre-sequel, 67 skill points were available, 1 less than Borderlands 2 and 2 less than Borderlands 1. So Nisha could fill out 53.2% of her skill tree, Claptrap could fill out 52.8, Aurelia could fill out 52.3, Athena and Wilhelm could fill out 51.5, and Jack could fill out 50. So obviously it's really similar to Borderlands 2, but because of needing less skills to reach the capstone or game changers, it allowed the player to get a lot better skills and to be a lot stronger than they are in Borderlands 2. But let me know what you guys think down below. Which system do you prefer? Do you think that we should go back to being able to receive skill points from random DLC missions, maybe 1 per playthrough per DLC? Or do you guys like Borderlands 2 or the pre-sequel system? Do you think Borderlands 2 had it right with build diversity, or do you think the pre-sequel being able to reach the capstone of every skill tree if you wanted to is good and good for the game? I'm really curious and want to know what you guys think should be in future games. But let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.